Yeah. We're joined by Maggie Alphonsi at the start of another exciting period for England rugby, with England taking on France tomorrow evening in the first of 5 autumn internationals. And Gary Street's named 5 uncapped players within the squad. What kind of tests can these young girls expect?
It's going to be a challenging test, but I think this is what Gary and the rest of the coaching management want to set out to try and achieve, and actually give the younger players opportunities to go and play against very good teams like France. And for us, it will only make us stronger, because obviously we've got 4 years until the next World Cup, and the opportunity is now to actually give those players that time to actually go and play against some very good teams, and with some experienced players like Sarah Hunter and Rochelle Clark, which will only do those players good.
So with 2 games against France and 3 against New Zealand, aside from winning, what does the squad want to achieve from the series?
I think obviously a win is obviously going to be the massive thing. That would be key for us. But I think we know that what we want to do is give everyone an opportunity to play rugby against very good teams. France is going to be a huge test out in France. Playing France in France is probably one of the hardest rugby I've played in, just because of the players you play against and the crowd. And they love rugby out there. They absolutely love it. So that's a huge challenge for those players who are out there now. But for us, when we play against New Zealand, the things which we want to achieve is obviously making sure that we've developed as a squad, and obviously that we're going in the right direction. Again, another 4 years, but we've got good 4 years to work on things which we may not have achieved, I guess, in 2010 when we didn't win in the World Cup. So the things we really want to get out of is obviously developing a squad and making sure our squad goes forward, and we're going in the right direction. And it's good to have this opportunity to play against France and New Zealand over this autumn period.
And as you mentioned, the World Cup final last year, when unfortunately you lost to New Zealand, what are your memories and thoughts now looking back at that match?
It still hurts, still upsetting. I think the fact that the whole tournament was brilliant. To get to the final, to come so close, to have that amount of crowd support us in the final, 14,000, which is I think probably one of the highest amount of viewers we've ever had for a women's game coming specifically to watch us, and it was absolutely brilliant. I think the tournament itself, it still hurts because you're so close and you're in the home ground as well, and we wanted to hopefully be the first English team to win the World Cup for the women's side. So I think what we're quite fortunate is that we've got another 4 years and we've got some good players coming through. We don't intend to go backwards, we intend to go forwards, and what they're doing now is looking to build on the squad we've got now to hopefully work towards winning the World Cup in 2014.
And matches against New Zealand for the men and women are always eagerly anticipated. What do you think there's more riding on these forthcoming matches as a result of the final last year?
Definitely. I think there's expectations both ways, expectations as players that we want to make sure that we go out and do really well and, come away with a result which we're happy with, and obviously not losing in the World Cup final against New Zealand, it's very frustrating because in 2009 we beat them obviously at Twickenham, so to have the opportunity again to take them on is important for us, because as players we want to go out and get the result for us, but then also the expectations as what we want to achieve to the public. We want to make sure that women's rugby is going forward, and that being so close in the last time we played against them, that we can actually go on and beat them. So there's a lot of expectations, but at the same time I think we love that. We love the challenge. We want to go on and we want to go and do well, and I think these are the things which we want to play lots of tough teams like that. We want to challenge ourselves to see that we're getting better, and if we're not, then what things we need to work on. So it's going to be expectations, but it's positive.
And one of your games against New Zealand is going to be played here at Twickenham on the 26th of December. You play after an impressive Barbarians lineup are going to face Australia, so you'll be part of an afternoon of rugby that will include names like Sonny Bill Williams, Jamie Roberts, Brian Havana. What does it mean to be coming back to Twickenham and being part of an event like that?
I mean, playing at Twickenham is absolutely amazing. You don't get many opportunities to play at Twickenham. It may be a bit of a cliche, but it's an opportunity, and it's fantastic to play after an event such as that with some of the big names who just played in the World Cup, and we're going to get to go on the pitch after them, and hopefully with them watching after the game as well. It can make you a little bit nervous and can make you a little bit think about what you're going to do on the game, but actually you just got to treat it as it's another game, I guess, another opportunity to play. And actually, yes, there's going to be a crowd there, and yes, there'll be, it would have been a big tournament, sorry, a big event happening prior to our game. But actually, if anything, it probably makes you more up for it, more inspired to play and want to play well, because obviously to get to play on the pitch means you've got to be doing something right. So yeah, I think we're very much looking forward to playing after the Barbarians game, and obviously for those who haven't got tickets, go out and get tickets, because obviously you get the opportunity to watch us after. So hopefully we intend to get a good crowd, and obviously ensure that the performance is very good as well.
And obviously you're here today as part of the launch of the RFU President's 15 Award for 2012, which is supported by QBE to recognise and reward voluntary projects. As your role as an RFU Talent and Development Officer, you obviously work closely with grassroots clubs. Does that make being part of today even more special for you?
Definitely. It's just so good to see so many volunteers in the game who actually get rewarded for the things that they do. If it wasn't for the fact that I got into sport, it was all because of volunteers. The reason why I am where I am today is because I've had the one coach who stuck by me, who supported me, or I've had many parents who've just helped out at clubs and just help push the youngsters on to play rugby at a high level. So if I have to say a big huge thank you to those volunteers, and it's just nice to be part of an event like this and actually recognise those achievements which they've done.
And what has impressed you about the people that you've met today and the stories that you've heard?
I think the thing that's just impressed me is the amount of commitment, the time, the dedication they put into giving hours back to the sport they love as well, and the people they obviously they're not related to these people who they help, but they actually have a lot of empathy for those people and want to make sure they go far and actually do really well. You hear about the clubs people set up to keep girls or other young volunteers into the sport, and just helping out in different ways which we don't even think about, and those are the kind of things you can't help not get inspired yourself.
That's great. Thanks for joining us, Maggie, and we wish you all the best for the series.